What is happening? Well, it is your pal Phil here over at FulPHILLment Thursday. Thank you all for guys are tuning in live. Let us know where you're tuning in from. This is going to be a very, very, very special. We've got just an incredible friend of mine. She's amazing, and I just found out on my streaming service that we've got some music here in the background. So I hope you all are enjoying it. It's the chill music. We're going to keep that on for a second, but I want to just kind of stage set here. We've got Deanna, of course, in the back. I'm going to introduce Deanna to you guys here, what she does. So Deanna, right, is CEO and LinkedIn strategist, speaker over at her business Leverage Up LLC, where she helps her client LinkedIn using her unique strategy. So I'm always curious about learning new ways to strategize and to leverage up your LinkedIn. So I figured, Deanna was like the perfect person on stage and to chat with us today. So thank you, folks. If you have live, please engage live. If you're streaming here on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, we'll go ahead and get some chat. My lovely wife from Duluth, Georgia. Thank you for tuning in, my love. We appreciate you and all that good stuff. So without further ado, we're going to bring Deanna up here on the stage talking today how to leverage up LinkedIn. Whether you're a job seeker looking for a new career or a new opportunity, whether you're an entrepreneur and you're leveraging up LinkedIn, or whether you're just along your journey and wanting to bring out your brand, do that. And so come up with ask questions. I'll be engaging and looking at the comments. We'll bring Deanna up here on stage. Deanna, can you hear us? Okay.
I'm good. I don't see me though.
You got your camera settings turned on back there, friend?
I do. Let's see. I turned off the camera just to see if enable camera, press V. See, this is the wonderment of haha. Yeah, ha ha ha.
Hey, there she is. Hi, friend.
I'm sorry. There goes the settings. Just yeah. So I'm good. We're all good. No, stubbornly, we're good.
Excellent. Well, you're here, and thank you for this. Was we've been talking about getting together and collaborating, but this was kind of a quick chat to be able to hang. So thank you for taking some time to chat with us today about LinkedIn. We've got Kara Burke in the house. Kara, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Kara, nice to see you, my friend.
Yes, and my wife Kelsey. I don't know if you've seen is also
Hi,
in the house listening.
I've heard so many good things. So many good things.
Keeps me in line. So, but what I love to do, Deanna, to kind of start out, too, who are you? Right? What is your story? Give us your pitch, Deanna, and what would you like the audience to know about who you are and what you do?
Really, it all started when I was in a sales job back in 2018. And that sales job wanted me to cold call pitch, also known as those spammy messages that you used to get in or you probably still get in your direct messages, in your emails. And I was one of those who sent them. And finally, after weeks of doing it, basically got a light bulb moment that was these people don't know you, Deanna. They don't like you, Deanna, and they don't trust you, Deanna. And so why in God's green earth would they spend thousands of dollars with the company that you represent if you hadn't earned that know, like, and trust? And so I pivoted. Before pivot was even the key word of the pandemic, I pivoted into let's treat LinkedIn like a large networking event. It is all about getting to know, like, and trust each other. And I now teach people how to do it the way that I taught myself 6 years ago.
One of the things that it's interesting about you, and we've talked about this before, know, like, trust, we've heard that before, but whenever you say that, whether it's like here on this live or because you definitely say it a lot, I immediately think Deanna Russo, because that's like it's interesting. And I also too, I want folks to kind of understand from your point of view and your high level strategy, and what is that all about? How does that help your people literally leverage?
Yep. Yep. Honestly, it is about getting to know you through your profile. Let's put it in LinkedIn terms now. Getting to know you through your profile. And you cannot get to know someone if their banner image is the LinkedIn template. If their banner image is a picture that doesn't give me enough perspective as far as who you are and what you do. And then once we get to know you, and that profile needs to be complete, every single section needs to speak of who you are and what you do. Then it's all about getting that profile, also known as your billboard, out into the masses. You should be getting that billboard on the busiest of highways to get traffic passing by it. And that's where visibility comes in. Honestly, you need to be visible to the people that you want to do business with, that you want to be seen by. If you're a job seeker, obviously you are not going to get hired if the people who need you don't see you. So visibility is very, very important. And engagement is that second piece of the triangle. It is shaking hands and getting to like people. Now I stopped before I said no. It's not about no. They're getting to know you through your profile. They get to like you through the conversations you're having on LinkedIn. And that means commenting like yourself, like you would in person. And then the trust factor comes with content. They cannot trust you as an expert in your field, whatever the field may be, if they don't see you sharing the stories of how you made that impact. You need to share the stories. You need to share the knowledge. And that's where the triangle comes in. Get to know through the profile, get to like through the conversations, and get to trust through the content. And the whole goal is to keep that triangle going when you're not there. It's about getting it started, and it's just got to be going, because you don't have the time to be on LinkedIn 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nobody does. So it's about setting up that concrete so that your LinkedIn framework is built, and then they come to you. That's what it's all about, is inbound. Those people need to come to you when they think of whatever it is that it goes off in their head. That's what it's all about.
And I love how your strategy is know, like, trust, and just like where like knowing is all about your profile. The banner, I mean, and one thing too about your banner, we resonate on. I know you and I met way before I started FulPHILLment. You actually were like, and I'll tell the audience out there, like, you were actually like a coach in the beginning, like when I'm like should I really do this for me to do, like, for my career, and I do it. But one of the things we resonated on, and you have it on your profile, is you've got Mom Taxi with music. I came from a music background, so we have a lot of resignation, passion, and you did a post just earlier this week about the Buffalo Bills up there.
Yeah.
Right. So talk to the audience around that kind of that spark of, I would say LinkedIn is we say a forum, but adding a bit of personality into it. So talk to kind of us a little bit about your passion for the Bills and other things that you've got going on. I know Magnet's a thing of yours. So how can folks, some of their personality platform that maybe brings out some of these icebreakers and gets people to start conversations?
Yeah, when people think of LinkedIn, they think professional. They think of B2B. So my whole take is think about it as human to human. We are all humans. Yes, we run businesses. Yes, we work full-time jobs. Yes, we have side hustles. Whatever the business side may look like or the work side may look like, but we're also humans. We have things that light us up. That's the way I explained it with passions. What lights you up? And why not showcase that to people? I had somebody in the comments of that post a couple days ago just say, well, it's the Yankees that lights me up. I'm like, well, then why aren't you posting about that on LinkedIn? Because there's a lot of Yankees
Uh-huh.
fans out there. So honestly, people just need a reminder that yes, it's about what you do, but it cannot be all that you do. It is a balance, and it cannot be just the human side either. There's a balance between the professional side, the human side, and the what lights you up. So there should be a mix of all of the above. And it should be incorporated not only into your content, but also into your profile. And that's why that mom taxi is there, because that's who I am outside of being on LinkedIn. I'm driving my kids around. That's the stage of life that I'm in right now, is I'm driving the
Uh-huh.
kids around. So people just need to peel away that onion. And the only way, if you are cautious about doing it, is to start commenting and then ease into content. If you do not want to go from 0 to 60 and just start posting content the way I did 6 years ago, then you can start commenting and having conversations like a real person. Don't use AI to generate the words, but have
Yeah.
conversations, and then you can ease
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah. No, I love, and just to repeat, like, do not use AI in a conversation with people.
No,
Like
there are a lot of uses for
people.
AI. There's a lot of useful things that you can
Oh,
do
for
with it.
sure.
But when it comes to replicating yourself as a person, I don't encourage people to use AI for their profile picture. We want to see you. We want to see how you show up on Zoom. We don't want to see a
Mm.
fake persona of you. We want to see the real you. And then just having, you can kind of tell now where AI is generating comments. And you could go to Chat GPT and you could have Chat GPT write the post. No, because that's not your words. That's not, we're not getting your perspective of things and hearing it from you in your words. So we need you to use AI as a guide, not as the be all and end all. Not I mean, use it as a tool to give you
Mhm.
ideas.
I love it. Yeah, as a tool, as a guide, like as a Kickstarter.
Right,
Like if I'm sure
right.
folks are kind of like, how do I begin? Using using it as a tool to begin, but then at the end of the day, really like using your own voice and your own tune. That's great, and all it covers really the first topics of LinkedIn and stuff. A little bit of like how to leverage up strategy, right? So like let's say you've got somebody out, and this can maybe refer to job seeker or what have you, right? For there we go. I just lost connection for a second. I
That's okay. I'm
was
like, I
asking.
know
I
it'll
was
come
like,
back. I'll just
but
hang
we're
tight.
here.
I'll just hang tight. Yeah, we're here.
This is the power of lives. Anything can happen. That
Anything
and
can
that it's
happen.
like being our full selves, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So what I was asking too is, like let's folks that have a LinkedIn profile, right, and they're really in the beginning stage, wanting to get out there a little bit. Like, what's for folks to, I guess, because we've all had it, right? When I started LinkedIn, I was hesitant to go out there. I had imposter syndrome. So how can people imposter syndrome and really just start? What's the way or the ways that folks can
There's
do
a
that?
few different suggestions I have. The first is to start commenting on people's content. And you can, number one, get a lot of ideas for your own content that way. And you can start to come out of your shell a little bit more than you would just going from nothing to something. So it's an in-between. Commenting is a great way to have conversations and to work up to posting your own content. And also, I would say that commenting, I mean, like it's a great, what's the best word to say this? It's a great in between to posting your own content, and brainstorming some ideas for content is another way to do it. And if you don't, it's a matter of looking at the world as, how can I relate this to my business? Because I will look into my backyard and I will see leaves, and then I will see a deer, and a deer that blends in with his background. I did a post on this in the past month or two, that you cannot be visible to the masses if you're blending in. Whereas a cardinal, on the other hand, see, it's how my brain is processing like the outside environment and LinkedIn. So you need to start training your brain. How do I process the outside environment and then lead it to LinkedIn? And then you can also tell stories of your business. And Kara Burke, who is with us, at least I'm pretty sure she's hopefully still with us. She did a fantastic story.
Yeah.
Fantastic story about taking people behind the scenes and what she did with data. As a data analyst, she made that data work to and solve a problem at the company she was working for. That's the type of thing that we need to see on LinkedIn, because you can just be words if you aren't telling stories. Tell us the stories that lead people to working with you. And it was a fantastic story that Kara told. Fantastic story. And so there's a few
I'll have
different
to check
ways
that out.
to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check her story out. I request on LinkedIn, but that's also like, the power. And I like Kara's LinkedIn banner too. It's got like all the data imaging on there and stuff. But
Yeah,
that's the whole point, right? Like, and the other thing, reference, like, I know y'all have to live up in Ohio, where you are, and I completely resonate with that. From a person, a cardinal up in Ohio, it's like, oh my, there's a cardinal right there, a little cardinal that would always land on her little, and it would be it would happen, but when it did, it'd be like, oh my gosh, like, that's incredible. So I love that analogy that you shared about the leaves and stuff, which is the whole point. Like, that got me goosebumps. I'm like, oh my god, but that brought a memory back in my life.
It's about seeing how you can resonate with people, how you can relate with people. And when people say the word cardinal, they go into all of these imageries. But in my case, I use the cardinal as standing out among the background. You have to stand out, and you cannot blend in. If you blend in with everybody else on LinkedIn, you're just another one of 1 billion people on this platform. So it's about making sure that you stand out from everybody else. That's what it's all about, is you need to stand out, because otherwise you're just blending in, and it's no fun to just blend in.
Yeah, I love it. And yeah, like you said, I was going to ask you that. Like, there were 1 billion people, right? Like, at least the latest numbers, which I don't know if it was like half of that or something, or a little bit more than half, but people out there. And we've got, and Kara, I'm going to bring Kara's comment. Thank you for the shout out. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Deanna.
Hey, I just call it as I see it, my friend. I call it as I see it. When people put out good content, you call it out.
Absolutely.
I love the
Ram
comments
or
when
Ram,
I
I'm sorry
see
if I'm pronouncing that right.
when I see the content where people are getting it on LinkedIn. I like to comment and I say something like, "This is perfect for LinkedIn." And there are people that say, I'm just on LinkedIn because it's a much happier place. It's a much saner place to be. And I get that. I do. But it's about appreciating the people that are making it better. And the commenting, it goes beyond just reacting. It's not just about, we don't walk into a networking event and give a thumbs up. We don't. We talk to each other. And so LinkedIn has got to be the same way. Let's have conversations. Let's talk to each other. You have the 3 points, though, that you promised in this live, and I've only given you 6 minutes left to finish.
We can go over. I typically, usually they go a little bit over.
Okay.
Sometime I'm wide open. Good friend.
Yep.
It's awesome. And one of the things I wrote down, of course, for repurposes, for me learning, for repurposing, the really just sharing your awesome values, for sure. But like you said, telling a story, right? And or like in the sales world, like sell, and they absolutely do, right? Because when you share your story on LinkedIn, and while you have that content out there, you're commenting like you see people's posts and really sharing your story and your value. I agree. Love this. Yeah. Those kind of comments that we hang out, being that cardinal out in the crowd. Then people remember us being in sales and working in the recruitment industry. Like we know that we remember what people say. And Deanna as well is like thing that I have to remind myself of often. I've got some insight around this is when you're commenting and posting and actually having a presence on LinkedIn, more people see you than you, right?
Yes. More honestly, here's the spider web effect. Phil and I are connected on LinkedIn. Kara and I are connected on LinkedIn. But it's not just Phil who sees my comment on his post. It is his connections. It is the second degree connections. It is the third degree connections. So it is a spider web because of all the different dynamics that go into the commenting. Yes, they also see reactions, but how does that start a conversation? If you just see a reaction in a feed, you don't. It doesn't. But if you see a comment, you can say, "Oh my goodness, that was a really good comment. I want to follow that person, or I want to connect with that person." So it really is a spider web. And that's another reason why commenting is so important, that there's multiple levels. It's not just your inner circle. It is multiple levels of that spider web.
I love it because I'm assuming too, and comment on people comment on because I want to support them. I resonate with their story, that kind of stuff. But even expanding the scope and I'm guessing like finding second, third, and their stories where that spider web ends up expanding. What's a good balance engaging on folks that you versus like second and third degree? Like, do you have an approach where like connect with or comment on a comment should go on first degrees to second and third degrees? Like, what's kind of a good strategy there?
Yeah, I would say it's not so much of a number of how many posts you need to comment as just a time commitment. If you can give 15 minutes a day to commenting, you will notice a difference. You will totally notice a difference. If you give 30 minutes a week, you will notice a difference. So just incorporating that into your calendar, I don't count how many times I comment, but I am more likely to comment on things around the time of me posting, because that kicks the algorithm in gear, because they see, "Oh my goodness, she's alive and moving on LinkedIn." and then your post goes live and it gives it a little bit more traction. So definitely work your commenting around the time that you post, but don't let that be the be all and end all. If you have nothing going for a half hour and you want to show up and comment for that 30 minutes of that half hour, do it. Go for it. And you will notice a difference. You will totally notice a difference. And because in the end, it's about visibility. And then after visibility happens, inbound happens. And inbound is awesome because Phil has gotten the inbound. I've gotten the inbound. It's all about, I've been following you for a while. What does it look to work with you? What does it look like? And that's, those messages are pretty awesome.
He says here in the comments, 15 minutes is doable. Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, and I used to be guilty as charged over here. Like I'd be on LinkedIn all the time. Like, you know, I can't do that anymore. Like I can't, like, and I love it because it brings out to, you know, do it like at the end of the day, because it's different for all of us. Comments, I'll have to drop. I'll check out the rest later. Awesome stuff as always, Deanna. Yes, it is amazing. We got we've got Stephanie House from upstate New York near the Bills. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi, Stephanie. How are you? Stephanie and I had a conversation a few weeks ago. She's awesome. She's amazing. And not just because she's in Western New York, but she's awesome.
That's a part of it. I got you. Yeah. And then, of course, Ram. I had Ram earlier up from Singapore, right? And that's yes, I guess too. That's also the power, right? It's truly a global community, which is incredible. Yeah, I love it. You just never know who's going to drop.
Connecting. Yeah, connecting with people on the other side of the world is pretty awesome. It is pretty awesome. I mean, and you can only do it through the power of LinkedIn. So, and it's not just about what you're saying. It is about who you're directing that message to. And you have to be clear with who you want to get that message. So it needs to, and you need to know that before you're going into, I need to do LinkedIn better. Why are you there? Who are you there to connect with? It's all about checking those off of the list. And then it is easier for you to do all of this stuff if you know your why and you know who you're there to connect with and your entire purpose of being on LinkedIn. It makes everything else much easier.
Love it. And it is incredibly powerful when you take it one day at a time, one step at a time. And like you said earlier, you know, taking that 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a week, whatever it looks like for you, seeing the results, you know, it takes time, right? Not an overnight thing. It happen, and to have, you know, networking is always, it takes time, but results and seeing those have your back and support you, and you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a job seeker, what have you, like, you know, a lot, it's tempting that, you know, we're just doing this by ourselves. But I think what is incredibly powerful in my opinion, LinkedIn is, it reminds me of just how much from the folks that are on LinkedIn and on the community. Like whenever I have an off week with FulPHILLment or something's going on, it's like I'm always reminding myself I have the support of incredible people like you, always going to be there, like no matter what journey looks like. Which is incredible.
Cheering you on. Incredible. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Supportive cheerleaders, all of the stuff. I've made so many friends on this platform that I would not have made any other way. And those relationships build over time. Those relationships are ones that you can never replace. And honestly, if people go into LinkedIn less like an online resume, less like a sales vehicle, and more like a get to know, like, and trust, and get to build relationships with people, it ends up working so much better. So much better. You have to go in with very low expectations and not get upset when your post gets 400 views and you're used to seeing 4,000. No, it's one post. It's one post. And over a series of time, this stuff adds up. And it's just like a networking event. No one goes, or you shouldn't go, to a networking event expecting to get clients and walk out with clients. No, neither should it happen on LinkedIn. It's a process, and you really need to just keep showing up as you, and that's how people get to know, like, and trust you. You need to show up as you.
I like that. Like, I like how don't go in with so many high expectations. Don't place it on. Go in there, take it one day at a time. Because yeah, you're right. Like, you know, have high expectations and having well, and you're just like, oh, I failed. Like, a lot of folks maybe just will give up and stuff. It's like just take it as it is, right? And just, you know, if you get, thing is, if I've impacted, you know, at least one person on then I've done my job for that day, right?
Yep.
If I've helped, then I've done my,
Yep.
I've done it, you know. And yeah, Stephanie too. Make sure you did say this earlier. It's always Deanna and your connections, which is what Deanna said earlier. That's exactly the power of this place. Not just you, the person, Deanna, but your people, which is incredible.
Yes.
Bob is an awesome guy. Thanks for tuning in, Bob. First of all, I like it. If I can do anything to help you, yeah. And Bob is wonderful. I him through another mutual connection that we had. He and I are going to have a chat next week and collaborate a little bit, and all that good stuff. But you know, and he's opening it up. Like, if I can do anything to help you, let me know. That's, you know, Bob's comments. Another example of just the community. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, we've talked a lot. We've talked about the importance and the power of LinkedIn. We've talked about how to literally leverage up your strategy through know, like, and trust, the triangle strategy. I love how you have that. It's continual. It doesn't stop. And just how to show intention, right? How to be yourself, how to be intentional on this platform. You've given us so many different, like, insight nuggets in this, but I always love to ask this final question, and then of course wrap up things as well, because I want folks to hear a little bit about on your end. But if you had kind of one little key take you want to share with the audience here, on the folks who are going to listen on the replay, because we will get people on the replay listening, what would that kind of like last little takeaway be that
I think that the triangle is only as good as the fourth piece, which is consistency. The consistency is what takes that flat triangle and makes it a 3D pyramid. You have to be consistent with all of the above, because without consistency, then everything doesn't work, or it takes longer to work. So consistency is a really big piece of the puzzle, really big piece. And then, yeah, I think it's profile, engagement, content, and then consistency is that overarching for all three.
Profile, engagement, content, and it's nice. It's like, you know, you've got the triangle, you've got consistency as the fourth piece of it to make it three-dimensional, in tandem together. I mean, it's your framework. I mean, the thing is, it's such a simple framework of itself. If you do that framework, and I'm sure it becomes so powerful, and the results happen overnight, but it had time. That's amazing. I love it. I mean, I'm very process driven, so being, you know, and that's another reason I'm like, we need to bring Anna on here, because that helps her people out. So Deanna, right? Talk to us. What's that?
It is about the process, and it is about the easy process. It's simple. It's not anything it's not rocket science. It's simple.
It is simple, which is incredible. So what kinds of things do you have going on your way, want folks to know about?
I am going to start workshops. I'm going to start workshops, and I'm announcing it right here because this hasn't been public knowledge, but it's going to be free workshops, and I'm going to start a community. I'm going to start a community that is going to meet on a weekly basis. So more information will be coming, but workshops will be where people get to actually come in and see what I teach, and then you can be part of this community that meets more on a regular basis. And yeah, that's all coming soon.
Incredible. That's a huge deal. I mean, that's incredible. Like I went all in on that.
I want to make it on Zoom. I'm going to make it very easy. You're going to come in and I'm going to give you advice on a top level advice on your profile, on your commenting structure, on your content. And then you're going to have an opportunity to join a community that's going to meet more regularly and get some of Deanna on a regular basis and Deanna's LinkedIn knowledge. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, announcing it here about it, might as well put it out there to the masses.
Incredible. Yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, that is going to be, I know firsthand, like freaking incredible and powerful and like phenomenal. So, I mean, definitely when you get it out, I want to engage with it for sure. Really get that out to the masses for sure.
Awesome.
I mean, I think, when I think of like link strategists, like you're definitely one that comes top of mind to me. So that's why I'm like on here. We need to like get to share her story. Again, all of these powerful insights, Deanna, that freaking incredible. So I'm going to ask you the question, but I'm also going to pop stuff up. You're of course welcome. So of course, find Deanna Russo.
LinkedIn. Search Deanna Russo, and LinkedIn is where you can find me. And my website is leverageupllc.com. You won't even find the workshops on there because I haven't even like Phil's live is the first time I mentioned it. So nothing's there yet. Coming soon to LinkedIn. I'm going to start my very first workshop is going to be in about 2 weeks or so. I'm going to put it out there to the masses, and yeah, that's the only way to get people to actually see what I can do is just invite people to come chat around the table.
Very good. And I've got your LinkedIn QR code there for a little bit. Of course, your URL there. Got her or your website. Let's get that checked out. Leverage Up LLC on mobile. If you want to take a picture, your website here, www.leverageupllc.com, which is incredible. And I know you're on Facebook and others. Got your Facebook
awesome.
Up here,
Facebook.com.
Of course, yeah.
It's growing. That one's growing.
Yeah, online. Deanna.russo.leverage.up. So she is as well, and she has her company LinkedIn page too for content on there. LinkedIn.com/company/leverage-LLC. So she's all. I'm going to put your link up just so I've got it. Please connect with Deanna. I mean, she's mine, and just wonderful LinkedIn strategist, friend, global speaker. Just thank you for being here today. Like you have been.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
I've learned a lot. Oh, are you absolutely?
It's always fun. It's always fun chatting with you.
It is. It absolutely is, my friend. Of course, folks, FulPHILLment.com. If you go FulPHILLment, you can find me out there. FulPHILLment.com. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn as well. I'll bring my up here. It's linkedin.com/Phil-the-. I'm also here if you're if you're a job seeker, maybe you're looking to find career fulfillment. That's what we do here over at FulPHILLment. So we are definitely here for that. Excited, and again, wonderful live. I've already sent this active clients as well, just to tune into a little bit later on the replay. I'll repurpose this up as well next week. And yeah, so I'm going to look at the comments real quick. Bob said here.
Well, look
Love
at that.
to talk to you about being on my podcast. Mm-hmm.
You got it,
So,
Bob. You got it. Send me a connection
Bob's got
request.
a
We'll get it
podcast.
all set
Yeah,
up.
so there you go. So y'all connect with each other next week about the same, and
Nice.
And all that good stuff. But yeah, this is right here. This is the power of LinkedIn. Like, Bob's tuning in. We connected. He's like, here you go. So boom.
Yep.
This is the power of it all. This is the power of it all.
There you
Bob, we
go.
appreciate you, my friend. And everybody here tuning in live. Thank you, Kelsey, Stephanie, Ram, everybody. For those folks on the replay listening, please comment is important. For us to, again, this is the way that I like to give back, folks, in my network, like Deanna on and all that jazz. So, Deanna, we appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's always a blast chatting with you.
You bet. And we will chat soon.